Hi, fourth graders. This is Miss Ellis, and today I'm going to be teaching you Lesson 710, Students Solve Multi-Step Number Stories Involving Fractions. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is our mental math. So you could use your slate and a marker if you have it at home. You can use a piece of paper and a pencil. So the first three equations you're going to solve, we're going to be adding fractions, is 2 1/3 plus 2 1/3, then 2 1/5 plus 3 2/5, and finally 3 1/6 plus 3 4/6. Feel free to pause this video so you can figure this out and start it again when you have your answers. Okay, let's look at the solutions. 2 1/3 plus 2 1/3, 2 plus 2 is 4. 1/3 plus 1/3 is 2/3, so our answer is 4 2/3. 2 1/5 plus 3 2/5, 2 plus 3 is 5. 1/5 plus 2/5 is 3/5, so our answer is 5 3/5. And then for the last one, 3 plus 3 is 6. 1/6 plus 4/6 is 5/6, so our answer is 6 5/6. Let's move on to the next slide. So you'll be solving 3 1/2 plus 2 1/2, 1 4/8 plus 1 5/8, and 4 3/4 plus 1 2/4. Please pause the video so you can solve and start the video again when you have your answers. All right, let's move on to the next slide. So our answer for the first one, 3 plus 2 is 5. 1/2 plus 1/2 is 2 halves, or that's also equal to a whole. So you can have 5 and 2 halves or 6 wholes. 1 plus 1 is 2. 4 plus 5 is 9/8. 9/8 could also be 1 1/8. So your answer could be 2 9/8 or 3 1/8. And then here, 4 plus 1 is 5. 3/4 plus 2/4 is 5/4, which also equals to 1 1/4. So your answer could either be 5 5/4 or 6 1/4. Our last slide for mental math. Remember, this is the most difficult slide. So our equations are 4 7/10 plus 3 8/10, 5 9/12 plus 6 5/12, 4 7/10 plus 3 40/100. Please pause this video to figure out the solutions and then resume the video once you have your answers. All right, let's move to the next slide. 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 7/10 plus 8/10 is 15/10, which is in an improper fraction. So you would either have 8 5/10 or 8 1/2. So let me just show you that. So it would be 7 15/10, which equals 7 plus 10 goes into 15 once, and then I have 5/10 left over. And then if I add these, I get 8 5/10. We know my handwriting is not the best, but I try my hardest. For the next one, 5 plus 6 is 11. 9 plus 5 is 14/12. 14/12, 12 goes into 14 once, and then I have 2 12s left over. So 11 plus 1 is 12, and 2 12s. And for the last one, 4 plus 3 is 7. Now I say, uh-oh, I have tenths and I have 100ths. For this one, I'm going to change my tenths to 100 so they have the same denominator, because remember, I can only add fractions that have the same denominator. So I'm going to multiply this by 10, which makes it 70, multiply the bottom by 10. Whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So I have 4 and 70 hundredths plus 3 and 40 hundredths. 4 plus 3 is 7. 70 plus 40 is 110 over 100. 100 goes into 110 once, and I have 10 hundredths left over. 7 plus 1 is 8. Oh, right here, sorry. 7 plus 1 is 8, and then I have 10 100ths. So 8 and 10 hundredths. All right, let's get into our math message.